So I built a multi-million dollar sales team while still being in school in my early 20s. And today I'm going to tell you exactly how I did that. Okay, so a little bit on my credentials. I help run a marketing company, Vantage Marketing Canada, where we give opportunities to young people, 18, 25 years old, looking to learn sales, marketing, and make a ton of money while still being in school. A little bit on, my experience personally. I've sold for a couple of years now. It's gonna be my fourth year in the industry. Just in personal sales, I've produced well over $500,000 in revenue. I've sold and managed teams in various cities across Canada and now North America. And I've built and run the number one team in the company this year, doing $2.5 million in service revenue. And I did all this while being a full-time university student, and too young to legally drink in the United States of America. Before we touch on how we did this, and how I did this while being in school, I just want to show you a little bit of the numbers on what my team was able to do. So this is the rookie performance. Our minimum rookie this year did just over $11,000 in the summertime. So these are all quarterly figures. These are only 3 months worth of work because they're in school the rest of the year. So the minimum earnings in 3 months was just shy of $11,000. The average rookie on our team did over 33, with the top rookie just shy of six figures. In terms of experience rep performance, obviously it's much, much higher. The minimum earnings for an experienced rep on my team, meaning that this was not their first summer selling with us, was over six figures. Average earnings were 177,000, and the top earner was just shy of $250,000 in just 3 months worth of work. Okay, so how the heck did I actually do this? I think there's three very, very important steps for running a sales team, and especially doing it while being in school. One is you got to lead from the front. You have to be a top performer in your own right if you can ever have any hope of actually leading others and teaching others to perform at a high level as well. A team is only going to rise to the standard of its leader. And so if you're selling less than people that you're hiring, well, they're never going to be able to perform at a very, very high level. So you got to be willing to get down and do the dirty work of going out and selling every day if you're wanting your team to do the same thing as well. Second is environment. Very, very important that you have a good, conducive environment for growth around you. You should be eliminating all distractions, and everything that would take away from your actual performance of both yourself as well as your team. And so Advantage, one thing we do is we actually provide housing for everyone that comes into the program. And this allows us to all work together as a big brotherhood or community, and allows us to work towards the same goal the whole time, which leads me to the next thing in terms of environment, finding others that are wanting to the same goal with you. If you think you're going to be able to go out and sell $2.5 million it just you're on your own, or if you think you're going to be able to build a team that'll do multiple millions of dollars on your own, you're out of your mind. You need to be able to find other talented individuals that have the same goal as you if you're going to want to work towards something bigger. And so I'm super blessed to be able to work with two amazing partners, Patrick and Anne-Marie here. They helped me a ton building this team. A large amount of the credit goes to them for our performance this year. And they're both extremely, extremely talented sales reps that are going to be running their own teams this year. Third thing, so again, you got to lead from the front as a leader. You got to find a conducive environment for growth, and that might mean going to a different city where you don't have the same distractions. That might mean cutting out some of your bad habits. Might even mean cutting out people that are bringing you down, social media, whatever it is, so that you can focus all in on the goals that you actually have. Inputs is the final and, in my opinion, most important thing. When in doubt, raw input is going to solve pretty much all your issues. If you're able to outwork the competition, you're going to be able to out earn the competition. One of the secret powers that we had leading into the season this year is we just recruited more people than anyone else. We hired more sales reps than any other team in the company. And so it's only natural that we sold more than any other team in the company. Now it's not just purely about getting the raw numbers out, it's quality as well. And so we also trained our rookies more than anyone else. We put more time into finding good housing and the environment and training ourselves to so that we could lead from the front and all the things I talked about previously. But if you're putting in more input in all the categories that matter across the board, then you're going to be able to produce more than all the other teams. Okay. In terms of balancing this sort of stuff with school, I know a lot of, young guys that are interested in building sales teams, learning marketing, all this sort of stuff, running their own company, aren't quite yet ready to take the leap into entrepreneurship, which is fine. I wasn't either. But if you're going to be balancing both, you're going to have to be pretty strict on some other things in your life. First thing you need to do right away is set up a schedule. This is what an average week in my schedule looked like last year while I was in school. I got meetings all throughout the evening, and then the morning I blocked off for my classes and studying. And you have to plan this way, way, way ahead of time. You should know when every assignment's coming in. You should know when all your applicants are coming in, when you need to reach out to people, when you need to train your reps and all this stuff. And don't break your routine. You should wake up same time every day, go to bed same time every day, do interviews same time every day, classes same time every day, and keep it as steady as possible. And that's going to allow you to stick with it the most. Now, make sure you also enjoy it. If you don't enjoy the process, you're never going to stick with it long term. So find ways to make this as fun of a process as possible. It is fun meeting new people, helping them learn sales and make a ton of money. Your school ideally should be interesting for you as well, or you should be taking different classes. So try to make it enjoyable. That way you're going to stick with it as long as possible. Because if you're just going to do this for a 1 month sprint, you're never going to make it to the point where your sales reps are going to be trained enough to do well. Again, you're going to want to cut out distractions. Super, super easy to focus on the short term and stuff like this and always push off the most important duty. But you have to prioritize your future above the short term. Partying, social media, travel, all this stuff needs to be pushed to the side for a little bit, and you have to be willing to go all in and really grind on this if you're wanting to really pursue your goals. If you're wanting to like really be successful, grow as a person, and become, the person in your family that's able to take care of and help others, then you're going to need to have some period of unbalance in your life if you're going to want to get ahead. Now, one trick to cutting out distractions that's helped a lot with me personally is the framework of zero being easier than one. And for a lot of people out there, this is going to be super counterintuitive because a lot of people like to preach balance. For me personally, I got a very addictive personality, whether or not it's good or bad. Once I start doing something, I don't want to stop. Whether or not it's like I eat a chip out of a bowl, now I want to eat the whole bowl, right? Or I read a page out of a book, now I want to read the whole book. And so that can be a positive or a negative in your life if you have that same addictive personality like I do. But it just means that we can't have just one chip because you're going to eat the whole bowl. And so sticking to zero, I just delete all the social media apps when I'm in a phase of my life where I really need to focus. I make sure there's tons of books around me and nothing else that would trigger me to have a bad habit. I drink no alcohol. I go to bed at the same time every day because I know if I slip up once, well, I'm going to start slipping up a ton of times. And so the zero is easier than one framework has helped me a ton, eliminating other distractions from my life. Okay, what are my future plans? Why the heck am I making this video in the first place? Well, frankly, I wish these videos were here when I was getting started with entrepreneurship. I see a ton of stuff out there just talking about sort of the results, people that have already made a ton of money, telling people to do, online SMMA or online AI agencies, all these businesses that frankly, I think is bad advice. Because if you're 18, 25 years old and you don't have any skills to run a business, you shouldn't be running a business. Okay? You're setting yourself up from failure. You're jumping too far off the deep end. It's like trying to bench 300 pounds on your first day into the gym. And so what I want to do is document my journey to eight figures. I want to talk about how I got to, seven figures, which is where I'm at now. And I want to teach, the young people like a younger version of myself, how to actually become an entrepreneur and the steps to do so in a process that's actually going to help you and that's actually going to get you some results. And so that's why I'm making these videos. I'm going to take you through week by week by week on my journey to eight figures. The whole time I'm going to be recruiting a team in the winter time. I'm going to tell you, how I do all that. If you have any questions for me about, maybe how I manage school a little bit more, how I was able to find people that had the same vision, how I was able to train my rookies, how I was able to perform at a high level myself, just let me know. I'm open to making videos on pretty much anything.